I, Jagger morning Ah-Fua, having been born of baby parents, I'm grateful for this wonderful opportunity to go to Cape Town, South Africa, to be a representative of our Heavenly Father. For the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. How can I not? It was the missionaries who came and taught my father and converted him into becoming a member of this true church. I was about 3 years old when my dad was converted. So how can I not take this opportunity to go out and continue to do the Lord's work? And change another man's life. Just like those missionaries changed mine and my family's. In Moses chapter 1 verse 39, it reads, "For behold, this is my work and my glory, to bring to pass the immortality and eternal life of man." Brothers and sisters, the topic that I've chosen to speak to you on today is missionary work. There's a story that I would like to share with you. Elder L. Tom Perry told it in his talk in General Conference. He was driving a while back along the University Avenue near the mouth of Provo Canyon when he saw ahead of him that the traffic began to slow down. Up ahead there were police cars with their lights flashing, and also a fire truck and several search and rescue cars all huddled up together, blocking that entrance to Provo Canyon. And immediately he started to get annoyed. He knew that he would be stuck in traffic, and it seemed like he would be there for a long time. But he was also curious of what was causing all that commotion. As he looked up the rock face on the east side of the entrance, he saw men coming, assuming that they were the search and rescue squad. But what were they climbing to? Eventually he saw that in view, a lost sheep had made her way about 25 feet up the rock face and was stranded there. She wasn't a mountain goat or mountain sheep, just a white ewe separated from her shepherd's flock. Since he had nothing else to do, he tried to look for a way up to where that ewe stood. He can never figure out how exactly the ewe got up there, but she was. To this day, he still doesn't know the end of that story, since the police were able to figure out a way to get the traffic moving again. But as he drove away, he wondered, where was this ewe's shepherd? Of course, he would have had the best chance of approaching the ewe without alarming her. The shepherd's calming voice and his helping hand were just what the situation needed. But he seemed to be missing in action. Brothers and sisters, as members of this church, we too are sometimes missing in action. Look around you. There are lost sheep everywhere. Look within your friends, your family. Look around you. President John Taylor said, "If ye do not magnify your callings, God will hold you responsible for those whom you might have saved, had you done your duty." When I think about that, I'm like, Man, I am held responsible for those in my family whom I could have saved had I done my duty. Brothers and sisters, even though you're not getting called to go to South Africa or Brazil or New Zealand, Samoa, or anywhere else, you're still a missionary here. Find those lost sheep, magnify your callings, and help them make their way back. If there are any of you out there who are thinking about going on a mission, or if you already received your call and you're waiting to leave, there's only one piece of advice that I have to give you, and that's to prepare now. When I would talk to some returned missionaries, I would ask them all the same question. And that's, what do you wish you could have done before leaving out on your mission? And almost all of them said, I wish I could have prepared myself better. I wish I would have actually read the Book of Mormon before leaving, or studied to preach my gospel. So prepare now. If anyone were to ask me that question right now, my answer to them would be nothing. I prepared myself the best I can. I would just picture myself already out on the mission field. And it's really helped me out a lot. So if any of you are preparing to go, you should give it a try. But just picture yourself already out on the mission field. If you're about to do something you know wouldn't be allowed on your mission, don't do it. Brothers and sisters, those of you who are preparing, stay clear of the adversary. He knows that you're on your way of doing something good in your life, so he will try to stop you. He'll try to tempt you. This past week while preparing my talk, I got to sit down and talk with my mom. And I guess you can say it was a pretty serious talk. She gave me 3 rules to keep while out on my mission. That first rule was to never question God's will or his commandments. Our way is clear. Our path is clear. We just have to go out and do as the Lord commands. The second rule was that I'm not allowed to come home early. She said, Jagger, echo these words in your mind, okay? You would not be coming back to my house if you come back home early. So I'm pretty much homeless for 2 years. And, I might have to bum on one of you guys' couches or something. But, no, I just kidding. But she said, if you ever do have that feeling of wanting to come back home early, just simply get on your knees and pray. Ask our Heavenly Father to take that feeling away. The last rule she gave me was to forget yourself and go to work. I'd like to thank all of you who helped support me with my decision and wanting to go on a mission to serve our Heavenly Father. And also those who helped me prepare to get to where I am today. My youth leaders, my teachers, my bishop. Thank you for preparing me the way you did. I'd like to also thank President Bryant, who used to be my bishop back then. I still remember when I first became a deacon, I was sitting over there. I was getting ready to pass the sacrament. It was my first time, and I was so nervous. And I saw him come up to the stand, and he looked over at us, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to ask one of these young men to bear his testimony for us today. Right when he said that, I was trying to look away, avoid eye contact, hoping that he wouldn't call on me. And out of all the kids that were sitting there, he called on me. He said, "Jagger, will you bear your testimony for us?" And I knew I was going to get slapped by my parents if I said no, so I looked up at him and I shook my head yes. But that whole time while sitting down, I was asking everyone around me, "Hey, do you have a paper? You got a pen?" And that whole time while sitting there, I was trying to write down my testimony. And I'm trying to figure out what I would say when I come up here. And when he came up to the stand, I said nothing that was on that piece of paper. That was the first time I've ever really felt the Spirit and bore my own testimony. So I thank you for calling me up that day. I'll never forget it. To my family, my brothers, my sisters, I love you guys. To my parents, thank you for never forcing me to go on a mission. It has always been my choice to serve our Heavenly Father. I always take my little brother out for these rides, and I'd sneak him out and take him to McDonald's or something. And I got to talk with him. And in that talk, I kept telling him how much I'm going to miss my family and how much I'm going to miss them. My little brother, he decided to write me a letter in seminary. And in that letter, part of it said, "Once you leave, forget us. Don't miss us, just do the Lord's work." It said, "Just know that where you are now, Dad and Heavenly Father wants you to be there. So just do the work." Before I sit down, I'm going to leave a quote with you that I read in this. You can find it in the Standard of Truth. It's by Joseph Smith Jr. He says, "The standard of truth has been erected. No unhallowed hand can stop the work from progressing. Persecutions may rage, mobs may combine, armies may assemble, colony may defame. But the truth of God will go forth boldly, nobly, and independent. So it has penetrated every continent, visited every climate, swept every country, and sounded in every ear." I just leave with you my testimony, that I know that this church is true, without a doubt in my mind. Know that we have a living prophet today, his name is Thomas S. Monson, who is here to guide us and lead us through these last days. Know that the 4 books, which are the Book of Mormon, Holy Bible, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pillar of Great Price, are all true, for I have read them, and I have studied them, and I have knelt and prayed to our Heavenly Father, and did receive the answers that are true. I love you all, and thank you all for coming. And I'd like to say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.